50/50 on plan. Weigh day today, and I have moved in the last week. I had 3 days of TDR and then 4 days of step 2. And when I jumped on the scales this morning, which I was very nervous about doing, I'd lost 0.6 of a pound, which obviously was very disappointing. I had this sort of idea in my head that when we go for Bruce's works Christmassy do, second week of November, I would be back at a healthy BMI. It's looking less and less likely that that's going to be the case now. But this evening I did a business course. It's one of the many reasons I absolutely love being part of this company, because there is so much continual training and encouragement. And this one was all about building our teams. I don't know, some of you might not know, but another way of us getting income is, it's not a pyramid structure, by the way. It is by supporting other people to develop this as a business, and then we get a certain percentage from head office as their sponsors. Anyway, one of the topics this evening, it was a 2-hour session that we did, and it covered something that I thought was very relevant for me today. The two coaches who led it talked about something called ants. And ants are, I've got my piece of notes down here, I've literally just come out of the session. They're automatic negative thoughts. Ants, automatic negative thoughts. We all have them. We can't help but have them. We're hardwired to have them. I certainly had them this morning when I jumped on the scales, and I thought, what the? And I was very demoralized and disappointed. I started thinking things like, I knew it. I knew as soon as I started back on the indomethacin, which I started 4 days ago as well, which is why I had to move to step 2. I knew that would happen. That's why I put all that weight on, which to some degree has actually been quite reassuring for me today, as I've sort of flipped my perspective, and I've thought to myself, actually, you know what, you've been so full of self-blame and anger towards yourself for putting some of that weight back on again, but actually this is proof positive that even on, and I'm on 1 indomethacin at the moment, and I was taking 3 a day before, if this and if this has slowed it down this much, just 1, do you know what, just let go of all that self-blame. So that's been a great place to be. However, there's also been that other negative thought, ant, as I now know, of well, if I'm only on 1 now and I have to start rising up and up and up, oh my God, what am I going to be like once I am on 3 a day, if I start needing more and more indomethacin, which is possible that I might as we get closer and closer to my next round of treatment. But what the ants discussion on this training did today was it made me really question my thoughts around all of this, and it made me think that this is a really helpful thing for me to pass on to you guys, because I'm actively using it, have used it today, and I'm going to continue using it. Because what happens is that those automatic negative thoughts that we all have, they start leading to self-doubt. So certainly this morning I started thinking, oh God, what's the bloody point? You know, if on step 2 I'm only going to lose 0.6, so for God's sake, I might just as well throw the towel in and just wait until I can go back onto TDR again, which it's irrational thinking in response to those negative thoughts. And what we have to do is take control of those thoughts. And so what I ended up being able to do was, this morning I said to myself, well, that's not going to help, is it? Because if you just completely throw the baby out with the bathwater, I think that's the right phrase. Okay, I have lost 0.6, even though I'm still on my indomethacin. And I'm not up to 3 doses yet, so, you know, I might lose another 0.6 rather than gaining and gaining and gaining if I just take my eye off the ball again. So it's about challenging all that self-doubt and all of those thoughts that we all have, and taking control of them. And when you might say to yourself, well, how the hell do I do that? And it is literally a matter of saying stop in your head. You just shout in your head to yourself, stop. Ask yourself, is that an ant? Which certainly the way I was speaking to myself this morning it was. And then ask yourself, is it an assumption? Which definitely, what's the point? I'm just going to put it all back on again, blah, 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 all that negative thought I was thinking this morning. Or is it a fact? And I was able to sort of rationalize that as, well, no, it's not a fact, is it? And I'm actually only on one still, and I'm catastrophizing, and who knows what the next couple of weeks are going to hold. So focus on the facts. And then what you do is you just choose to think differently about that. So challenge that negative thought, which is exactly by shouting stop and asking yourself, is this an ant? I didn't do that this morning, obviously, but that is basically what I did. And I chose to think differently about that situation. And that was a much better place to be, let me tell you, than, oh, what is the bloody point of this? And I knew this would happen, and all of that sort of negative self-speak and self-thought. What you're doing is you're thinking rationally about a situation. Another way of asking yourself this is, if you're thinking about something, is, well, can you prove that? And I certainly can't prove that I'm definitely going to be going back onto 3 tablets a day, and I certainly can't prove that. Actually, I can't even prove that just 0.6 is due to the indomethacin. It might just be one of those weeks, and next week might be better. So it may well be that, just keep on plodding on, and it was just one of those weeks where, I moved up a step, and so it's quite normal to see that sort of fluctuation when people move from one step to another. So maybe it's just that, and nothing to do actually with the indomethacin. So it's a really good way of getting control of your excuses, that self-blame, and all of those sort of self-limiting thoughts that we all have. And you do it by just becoming really conscious of what you're saying to yourself. Really, really become honest and self-aware and rational